Flexing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, welcome back For All I Know Podcast.
How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Life's great. Cannot complain. Not yet, at least. We'll wait for the little bit into the podcast to start complaining about stuff.
Sometimes they say when people complain, who's going to care? Who's going to listen anyway?
Seriously, exactly. And when I used to work at the bar, I would say that little thing where it's like, oh, can't complain yet. And it was like, oh, if you complain, I wouldn't listen. I was like, oh, hey, shit.
See?
That's good stuff.
Crazy week this week, bro.
Yeah.
I walked into my casual restaurant that I go into all the time to get breakfast in the morning.
Yeah.
And as I'm walking in, I see this attractive woman.
Uh-oh.
Like, okay,
Here we go.
Cute. She's cute.
It's getting interesting.
And, I didn't pay attention to her surroundings, or I wasn't aware of my surroundings. Because next thing you know, I order my food, I turn around, she's pulling out her boob.
What?
This is San Francisco, right? So you're like...
You getting breakfast at the red light district?
It wasn't that crazy, but at the same time, I'm like, what the hell is this lady doing? So she is already sitting down in her seat, pulls out her thing, and
it's a boob.
And then she reaches on the side of her, or her boob, her tit,
her
right?
Thing.
Her thing. And she grabs her child.
Oh,
and then she starts to breastfeed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, that makes sense, right?
Yeah, okay.
But then it made me think, right? Like, what's the protocol of breastfeeding?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What do you do first? Do you pull out your boob first? Do you grab your child first? Do you put a cover over it? Well, like, is there a time and place to do this?
Yeah, well, I feel like at airports, they have specific places for stuff like that. But when I used to work at a couple restaurants, like, I remember I'd be in the back, like, putting the dishes away or something, right? And then people would come in, like, dude, there's a chick with her boob out at the table, and she would be breastfeeding. But I mean, to me, like, if I'm eating, like, you were at a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
Like a breakfast place or something. Like, to me, if I was a person eating at a breakfast place and I saw a girl breastfeeding, like, I would kind of lose my appetite. I'm not going to lie.
You got to be careful, though, bro. Because people literally don't have a problem with it. And I don't have a problem with it either, right? Your kid's hungry. It's the most natural way to feed your child right then and there. Yeah. Of course, there's a time and a place to do it. But at the same time, it was like, damn, I don't have kids. You don't have kids either. But would I want my wife or my significant other breastfeeding or our child in public, not covering up, none of that? Like, it made me, think about it. So I was like, definitely taken back by it. Knee-jerk reaction, like, whoa, what is she doing? But yeah, what do you think, bro? How do you feel about it?
I mean, again, like, there's nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
It's a natural thing. Like, I'm happy to see that versus formula. You know what I mean? But in a certain sense, like, to kind of piggyback off of what you're saying, like, I wouldn't want my wife just to be out there. Like, granted, it's not the most attractive thing in the world to be breastfeeding a child. Like, I don't know. I mean, people have a lot of weird fetishes. That's another conversation. But I don't know. That's just, it's strange to me.
Yeah.
Because I've only seen that happen, in my life at least, 2 or 3 times. And every time, granted the third time, I'm like, oh, okay, I've seen it before. But like the first time, I was like thrown back. I was like, what? You can't be having your tit out? What you doing? Like, put it away.
Right? It's like taboo. Like, no.
But I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But it's a shocking thing. And I figure, I don't know. I mean, everyone has to breastfeed. Every woman has to breastfeed eventually if they have kids.
Mm-hmm. But it was crazy how, like, American culture has so sexualized boobs that when we see it in its most natural form, right?
Yeah.
Doing what it's made for.
Yeah.
It's, like, weird to us. Like, we're like, whoa, don't do that. Cover up. Like, get out of here.
Well, there was someone who actually works in this office space. He's part of a whole campaign called Free the Nipple campaign.
Got you.
Which is trying to, I think it's like to normalize showing women's breasts. And I think the first, like, I don't want to call it an assault because it's not a war, but the first campaign they're running is to try to allow Instagram to be more okay with showing breasts. And I can see from a standpoint, it's like, okay, yeah, like, I mean, if it's artfully done, I'm sure it's like could be really cool. But to a certain standpoint, I feel like little kids are going to see this and be like, oh my God, a boob, and show all their friends, there's the boob, because like what? My mom used to get Victoria's Secret magazines sent to the house when I was younger. And I remember I'd be like going through the mail and I'd see it, I'd be like, and like flip through it really quick, just to see some girls in underwear. So,
exactly.
I mean, imagine what would happen if they had nipples all over Instagram.
See?
But yeah, that's interesting. I've never
Yeah. And then another thing that you said that, right, on Instagram, you can take a picture with your shirt off.
Yeah.
And there's no problem.
Yeah.
You know, a girl takes a picture with her shirt off, and they'll take it down. So it's like, damn, the double standard on boobs, and I guess, you know, breasts in general is like, it's pretty obvious.
Well, it's interesting too, because in regards to free the nipple and boobs in general, like I can show my boobs, right?
Your chest.
My chest.
Your
my
man chest.
My chesticles. But I think it's like once you show the areola, the nipple itself, then it's crossing the line, right? Because you can see what they call them pasties or whatever, right? Like the ones where it's like a sticker that the girls just put over their nipples.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's okay, like on Instagram and stuff like that. But once the nipple is shown, then it's like, oh God, no. Everyone like freaks out.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Like why? There's a weird thing with nipples going on. There's some sort of conspiracy.
But man, it was definitely shocking, right? To walk into the restaurant. You know, I wasn't even aware of the child. I was so focused, like, oh, she's gorgeous and she's beautiful. You know, go and get my coffee, do my thing, turn around, I'm like, whoa, like shocked by it. Like, and I shouldn't be shocked by it. It's like, I think it's natural. But at the same time, I don't know if I want my significant other breastfeeding in public without covering up.
Well, and that's the thing too. It's like there's so many ways to work around that scenario. Like, can't you just pump the breast milk into the bottle before you leave the house? Or like, do you have to do it? Like, did the baby like start freaking out? Like, I need milk now.
Right.
Like,
but that's kind of the thing, right? It's like convenience. It's like, you're not going to go in a bathroom stall, right? It's dirty. It's nasty. It doesn't smell good. You're going to put a cover over the baby's face, and it's hot and sweaty. It's uncomfortable. Like, you know what I mean? I was thinking about all these scenarios. Like, do you go in your car and breastfeed? And then you inconvenience yourself because now you can't eat lunch or you can't handle business on the phone. It's like when your baby's hungry, You got to feed them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I wonder, like, I wasn't a manager for the restaurant at the time when it happened. But I wonder if there's like a protocol for managerial positions when like someone starts breastfeeding. Like, is it okay to breastfeed? Like, is there a breastfeeding policy in Starbucks where it's like, bring your kids here to breastfeed them?
In 2019, if a manager stops a woman from breastfeeding, it'll backfire.
Oh, huge, bro. Be all over the news.
You can't do anything. You can't say no or stop to anyone.
They be protests outside with women breastfeeding in front of Starbucks. Let us feed. Right. Let us feed. They got their boobs out and stuff. Guaranteed, man, it would happen. I guarantee it.
Oh, man.
Dude, but off topic here a little bit, but we talked about it a little bit in the past. This dude, Blueface.
Okay.
So I was telling you, Deadlokes and Bleed It. And everyone's talking like, oh my God, he's a horrible rapper, raps off beat. I listened to those songs. I was like, okay, this isn't horrible.
Yeah.
Granted, I can't listen to it more than like 3 times without being like, okay, this is kind of bad. But I listened to his other songs. And I was thrown back by how offbeat it was.
It's almost cringeworthy, right?
It was beyond cringeworthy. Like, there's a thing. It's like, because even with Lil Pump and these rappers nowadays, like, granted, I'm not a huge fan of them, but they're on beat.
Yeah.
And if I'm drunk or if I'm not even thinking about the words, I can still dance to it and vibe to it.
Yeah.
But with this, he's so off beat that, like, the beat's doing its own thing and he's doing his own thing. So it's like 2 beats on top of each other. So my brain hits like this cognitive dissonance where it like doesn't understand what's going on. So I don't understand how people are enjoying this.
Man, Blueface is doing his thing right now. Other than him stealing the Bay Area's dance, I'm all for him, bro. Make your money, make your music. It doesn't sound great, right? I searched Apple Music and I'm like, who is this Blueface guy, right? So the first 2 songs I hear is Tatiana, which is like the new sicko mode for white girls right now. I'm telling you, bro. You know how like they all love that sicko mode shit. Yeah. It's the new Tatiana's new song.
Bust down, Tatiana, bust it down, Tatiana. Hey.
But that is the new song for them, bro. So it's like he's doing his thing. I can't be mad at him for being successful, right? Do what you want to do. It doesn't sound great. All of it doesn't sound great, but he's doing his thing, man. I can't be mad at him.
I could be mad at him.
Get your money, black man. Get your money.
I could be mad at him, man. You kidding me? It comes to a line, I feel like, where it's like, it's not art. It's not nothing.
It's like, why are you doing this?
Why are you doing this? He even said, like, he's not like, oh, I didn't start rapping until a few months ago. I'm like, what? Like, you serious? Like, there's people out here who have been, like, trying so hard to make it in this industry. And this fool comes up and literally doesn't rap on beat at all.
Yeah.
It literally sounds like he raps a verse and then he picks from a beat and then puts the beat on the verse that he rapped. And it doesn't match up. Like, it's, you guys, if you haven't listened to him, you need, I don't want to promote him at all, but you need to hear it just for like the comedic aspect of it. Because some of these songs where he's literally off beat the entire time have like 7 million views.
Yeah.
And it's irritating because my friend, I was talking to him, he was like, oh, it just like kind of proves that people like ignorant stuff. I'm like, no, like that's not, it's a difference between ignorance now. That's not even ignorance. Ignorance is rapping about drugs and women and all this stuff. But he's like rapping about that, but not even rapping.
Yeah, his cadence is just way off.
Way off.
I see what you're saying.
So I feel like now it's a situation where it's like people listen to it as a joke at first, maybe. And then other people think that people are listening to it seriously. And they're like, oh, other people like it? I guess I should like it too. And then start, because you can't, like, if you guys listen to this, you can't dance to it. You can't move to it. I tried to kind of groove.
You can dance to Tatiana.
Okay, Tatiana. So
you can dance to that.
I think the thing now is with these songs like Tatiana, because YG's on that song.
But before YG got on it, it was a big song too.
Yeah.
Yeah. See.
But I think what's happening is all these producers are like, holy shit, like this guy is making it without rapping, and now they're kind of trying to coach him back into the lines. Because the first few songs I heard when he first started making songs like were horrible, and now he's slowly starting to get more on beat. So I feel like the people who have signed him are just like
kind of structuring it a little bit better.
Because I want to meet whoever produced the first song for him.
Yeah. You want to slap him?
I want to slap him. Because I've kicked people out of my studio for rapping off beat. You know what I mean? Because like, bro, like it's not on beat. Like, I'm sorry. Like, and we've tried like 8,000 times and like it's still not on beat, bro. Like, it doesn't sound good.
Maybe you don't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe music isn't for you.
Well, maybe music's not for me at this point. That's what I'm starting. You know?
But what Blueface does have is he's got the look.
Yeah.
He's in a gang, right? He's a Crip. I mean, if you got the look, you got the style. You know, he's got the street notoriety. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, notoriety. Yeah.
Thank you. So, I mean, it's like, that's kind of the formula these days, right? If you got all that, that's what all these people just kind of want to glorify is this street culture. Even if you're not living it, even if it's not real, it's just like he looks good. He's got the style. He's got 1 or 2 songs that I kind of like. And people push it, man.
Well, it's interesting. Because I feel like music in the past was so much harder to make. Because before all these computer programs and stuff, like we can knock out a podcast in like 10 seconds, set it up, get it in. Same thing with a song. You can make a whole entire orchestra on your computer. Back in the day, you used to have a live band and a live performance, record it all one take, and then put it on a record tape and then put it out on a cassette. Super difficult. Man. But now it's like you got all these Xan heads sitting in their bedrooms knocking out these beats super quick, and then you got people like Blueface just coming on like, bust down, Tatiana, bust it down. Hey, Blueface, all right, baby, yeah. That's what he said.
Yeah, all right. That's
yeah, all right. Blueface, baby, chase a bag, don't chase me. Like,
oh man,
it's interesting where the whole, and I think as a culture as a whole, it's kind of going in that direction where it's like quantity over quality.
I got a cousin that feels the same way about you. Shout out James. He hates Blueface.
Hey, what's up, James? Hit me up, bro. We need to hang out.
Oh man, that's funny. But yeah, Indy just signed to Fashion Nova. Blueface did. So you know what I mean? He's making the right business moves. Somewhat. He's like signed to 4 people. He's like signed to someone who signed to someone who signed to someone.
Yeah.
So that's not good business.
Not at all.
But
hit me up, Blueface. I'll be your manager. Just give me a cut. I got you, bro.
He's getting that Fashion Nova money, man.
Yeah.
Can't be mad at him.
Well, it's interesting too because I feel like that's a huge thing for artists like Blueface. Is I don't want to call him ignorant because I don't know him as an individual and I don't want to judge. I'm only judging his music and it's trash. But him as an individual, I can't judge him. I'll give him that. So he's probably a relatively smart kid. But these people are getting locked into these deals, like you said. He's signed with 4 different people. That means before his money, that let's say his song makes $100,000, and they're all taking 20% each.
Shit.
That means what? He's only going to get 20% of that cut.
Damn.
So he's only going to get like 25,000 out of 100,000 or something like that. I mean, I can't do quick math, but if you're not, and then all these songs that he has on YouTube are put up by World Star. So people are like, oh, well, he's making money off YouTube too. It's like, no, World Star is getting that money.
Yeah.
Because I've been paid off YouTube before, and like since it was on my channel, it came to me.
Yeah.
So it's going to World Star's channel, and they're probably not cashing them out.
I doubt it.
Yeah, the world's crazy. Like my mom, she lives in a really good neighborhood, and I was playing video games with my brother on Xbox Live, and he was like, dude, there was 3 masked robbers in Pleasanton like 3 days ago.
What?
Yeah, they robbed a Wells Fargo. 3 masked dudes robbed a Wells Fargo in Pleasanton, then dipped the scene. Were over by Foothill High School in my mom's neighborhood. Like super peaceful area.
No way.
And they like carjacked some person at gunpoint and then dipped and they were being chased by cops and then carjacked someone else and got away scot-free.
You're kidding me.
Swear.
This is like some movie shit.
For real. You never hear about, like, the worst thing I've ever heard in this area was like maybe someone getting kidnapped, which I mean is still horrible, but that was like 10 years ago. And there was a shooting in Ruby Hill or something like that, like 5 years ago.
Oh, okay. Pleasanton's the Wild Wild West now.
Yeah, it's popping up, man. Yeah, I'm from the hood. Yeah, no, I'm playing. But yeah, I was blown away. I was like, whoa.
You know Brandon Chun?
Yeah.
He was a bank teller at some bank. I'm not going to be specific about it. And he got robbed.
Damn.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it happens out here. I think that was in San Ramon or something.
Huh.
And like he said, the guy just like handed him a note. Didn't even show a weapon or anything, but like faked like he got a weapon. Hopped in a Prius and just...
Hopped in a
Prius. Can you believe that? Out of everything he hopped in was a Prius.
We got a Prius going 100 on the freeway.
And he got up out of there.
Damn.
So.
Well, that's a good question. You don't have to answer this because it is kind of invasive. Have you ever been like had a gun held on you? I've had a gun pointed at me like once.
I've been around guns.
Yeah.
I've shot music videos where guns have been pointed at the camera.
Dude, same. Dude, that's a weird situation too.
Super weird. It's like, it's super uncomfortable.
Right at your face. You're like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this.
You know what I mean? So I'm definitely not in a threatening way. Not in a threatening way. Thank God.
Yeah, well, it's a weird situation. I haven't had it directly pointed at me, but it kind of sounds similar to Brandon's story with the bank teller. Because we were at some party in Dublin. Dublin, of all places. And we were waiting outside, about to walk in, and this car pulls up next to us. And he's like, hey, kind of yells us over. I'm the only one who walks up because my friends are like, nah, fuck that.
Dumb.
I know, right? So I'm like, okay, hey, how's it going, partner? Nice to see you. Walk up all friendly and shit. And then he's like, y'all need to get out of here. I was like, oh, well, we're about to go to this party right here. He's like, nah, you're not. I was like, well, nah, yeah, we're walking over. You want to come with us? Like, hella friendly.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, you're not going to the party. And like pulls out a gun and just like puts it on his glove box.
Oh, shit.
And just leaves it there. I'm like, yeah, no, I didn't want to go to the party anyways.
Fuck that party.
And then like I walked up to my friends and they're like, oh, what do you want? I was like, he had a gun. We should leave. And then they're like, oh, shit. So then we dipped.
Man.
But I mean, I can imagine like being in a situation where like the gun is pointed at you.
Yeah.
I would love to think that I would be able to like react. And, like knock the, you know what I mean? But realistically, you'd probably be frozen.
Scared, bro. I couldn't imagine. A lot of banks have that like glass where it kind of covers you. But if you're in a bank where it doesn't have that, then yeah, you're fucked. Give up the money.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's like they're not going to pay you more for trying to be a hero.
Yeah, that's true.
Give them the fucking money. Let the police do their job.
For real.
And you're going to be safe.
That's huge.
When a motherfucker tries to be a hero, then the security guard ends up dying and one of their coworkers ends up dying. It's like, let the motherfucker do his thing. Hopefully he gets caught or he gets away with the money.
Yeah.
Whatever side you're on. And everybody lives to see another day.
Yeah, seriously. Well, I mean, that's like, dude, could you imagine being in like the old days where like that used to happen a lot?
Man.
Because there was like world-renowned gangsters and bank robbers.
That were like known for it, right?
Known for it. And like they would go on sprees, like hitting banks like 7 days a week.
Man, Mac Dre and them. Shout out Jay Diggs and all them. You got to watch their documentary.
Fizz Nation, which one was it?
It was the one that was American Gangster. It was the one that DJ Vlad did. Huh. And yeah, man, that one was pretty interesting. They talked about how they kind of, robbed a lot of banks and like pizza spots in the Bay Area, and then they went out to like towards Fresno and did some shit.
Pizza shops.
Yeah, man.
Give me all extra large.
American Gangster, Mac Dre. Y'all gotta watch that.
Huh. Those movies are really interesting to me. Super interesting.
Dude, another thing I heard about this is in New York, right? This lady fucking pulled the plug on her brother.
Oh, what?
Right, so I guess she gets a call from the hospital. It's like, your brother overdosed. He has severe brain damage. Like, you need to come down and check him out. So she checks him out, and the guy definitely, looks like her brother. Like, his face is all swollen. He's kind of fucked up, but the doctor said there's 0 chance. Like, he has no brain activity, right?
Wow.
She pulls the plug on this motherfucker. Finds out that's not even her brother.
No!
Bruh, it's not even her brother.
Oh, my God.
So she pulled the plug on the wrong dude.
Oh,
So she's still in the hospital in New York.
She's still in the hospital?
She's still in the hospital.
Okay, she's going to win that one.
I think so, though. It's pain and suffering, bruh. She's traumatized.
She killed somebody. She pulled the
But they told her there was no chance of her brother living. So she's like, fuck it. Oh, my gosh,
bro. She probably mad and pulled 2 plugs.
But so her brother, I guess, was in jail this whole time. She was able to talk to her brother. Her brother was kind of pissed because he's like, what the fuck? You pulled the plug on me? Like his kid.
So the brother came out of the coma?
No. So the guy she pulled the plug on was not her brother.
Not her brother.
He died. He's gone. He's out of here.
Okay.
Finito.
Yeah.
Her brother was in jail this whole time. She had no idea. So her brother was able to talk to her, and they talked about what happened. And
wow,
it's fucked up. His kids even went to go see him. Like she's like, the guy definitely looked like my brother. Like I for sure thought it was my brother. I see how they got it mixed up. Like she understood how they could get it mixed up, but at the same time,
damn,
so she's suing. She's trying to get some bread off that. What you think?
Oh my gosh, bro.
You don't think she's good?
Nah, bro. She needs the plug pulled on her. Man. Like, because that's not, they need to stop using that term then, man. Because, like, the doctor is supposed to do that shit. They don't give you the honors. It's not like some, like, magical situation where it's like, would you like to pull a plug, ma'am? You know what I mean?
It's crazy how my whole life I thought that's what happens. Like, your family member goes, like, da-da-da, da-da-da, and, like, pulls the plug on you. And it's like,
There's no way. I imagine it has to be a doctor.
Right, the doctor.
Because a situation like that could happen where she's like, I'm going to pull the plug. I love you, little bro. And then kill somebody.
But the headlines, that's what it said. It said, sister pulls the plug on brother. But not like, I guess the doctor did it. Or whoever, she agreed that it was over for him. And that was it.
Yeah. Wow.
I couldn't imagine.
No, that's nuts, dude.
That's traumatizing, though. I think for her, too. It's like, she thought her brother was dead. She thought, it's over with. And then to find out he's still alive, it's like...
Well, so that's a weird situation in itself. So the doctors told her that her brother was done for.
Yeah, no brain activity. He wasn't
even in the hospital? He was in the jail?
He was in jail.
So they must have mixed up the files completely or something.
They fucked up something.
Huh. That's crazy. Interesting.
Yeah.
So she probably had been going to the hospital talking to this random dude for hella long.
She's like, I was sitting next to his bed crying. Like,
wow.
His kids were there. Like, they were crying. They were all sad. So
even the kids thought that this dude...
They thought their dad was dead.
And the whole time he was in jail, just posted up, getting tattoos, working out, getting swole.
Eating noodles. Yeah.
Eating noodles.
The whole 9 yards.
Damn.
Crazy.
Dude, that's crazy. Well, I feel like there was another situation that you were telling me about where, like, someone... Was it the brother situation where the plug got pulled? There was some other weird situation that was going on recently where I want to say it had something to do with Fortnite. As ridiculous as that sounds, like the sun or something.
I don't know about Fortnite, but I was telling you about this shit that happened on the Super Bowl day. So this couple fucking invites over some friends and family, right? Yeah. They're married, and this guy has a stepbrother over there. He got his girl. Everybody's chilling. So if you have guests over, of course, right? Your woman's making people plates and feeding people. Yeah. You know what the woman did? She fed his stepbrother before she fed him. He was pissed.
Well, that's the stepbrother before she fed it, and there was like dating or what? Hold on, sorry.
So it's the
sister.
It's the the sister, the brother, who?
Yeah, I know the stepbrother.
So it's a couple, right? The couple have people over their house.
Okay, and then
well, so the couple feeds the guest, specifically his stepbrother first before she feeds him.
Well, isn't that's like hospitality though, right?
Hospitality, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
The way I've grown up though, my mom, my grandma, they always feed my grandpa or my dad first.
Oh, the elders, and yeah.
Just the man of the house, right? It's their house.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes, I guess. Even when I was dating a Latino woman, her mom would always feed the husband first. So that's just kind of how it goes, I guess. This motherfucker got violent.
Oh.
He got mad, right? So he starts arguing. He starts, saying super vulgar shit.
Damn.
Everybody leaves the party besides the stepbrother and some other woman.
I have a feeling I know where this is going.
This fool killed his stepbrother.
Oh, no.
And shot the other lady. The other lady is in critical condition still.
Shot his, like, significant other?
No, his significant other left. So she was gone. So all the other guests left.
Damn.
There was 2 other people there. And he tried to kill both of them.
Damn.
Yeah. Crazy story, dude.
Dude, that's nuts. Like, that type of shit. there has to be something else going on in that person's brain.
And that's what I'm thinking too. Like, there has to be a backstory.
Yeah.
Either he's been jealous of his stepbrother.
Yeah.
He thinks his stepbrother's fucking his chick. Yeah, like, something's happening.
Something going on.
Crazy.
Well, that's like this whole situation. This blew my mind. Was some family man with his wife. They already had 2 kids. Who were like, I want to say like 3 years old, 4 years old, super young. She was pregnant with a third.
Was she breastfeeding in public?
Yeah. And he's like, you need to put your tip back away. No. So I guess the whole time this guy was having an affair with someone else while his wife was pregnant and they already had 2 kids.
Okay.
So then he was like freaking out because he's like, shit, she's having another kid. Like, I can't handle this. I got all this other stuff going on with this chick on the side that she doesn't know about. Granted, this guy looked like a super normal person. And he ends up one day coming home, killing the mom, the wife, and then killing the 2 kids, and then taking them and like dumping them in a field somewhere. The whole time, the sister of the wife who got killed knew something weird was going on, and like they launched this whole investigation. And then he was pretending to be all sad, like, "Oh, I don't know where they are. They left earlier and haven't come back." But it freaked me out so much because this guy looked like the average person you would see at the gym.
Yeah.
Looked like the average dude you would see at the bar, like just normal looking dude. But then he turns around and like just does this horrible maniacal thing.
Was this the thing where they like found his kid in like an oil bucket or something like that?
Yeah,
I heard
in an oil
this.
rig or something big. He like dumped the bodies
where he
in there.
used to work or something.
Yeah.
That's fucked up,
Yeah,
dude.
super crazy.
Could you imagine that?
Yeah, and the whole time he was on the news, like saying like, please, if you're out there, please come home. I don't know where you are.
Psychopath.
Man. It's crazy how like people can do that stuff and mentally live with it.
Not to stay on the same path, but I kind of will.
Yeah, no, please go ahead.
There's a fucking Netflix documentary out right now called Abducted in Plain Sight.
Oh, dude.
Bro, you gotta watch this shit. It's about a Mormon family. They meet this guy. They're super good friends with his family as well.
Mm-hmm.
The dad ends up taking advantage of the wife, taking advantage of the husband, taking advantage of the daughter. I'm not going to go in depth about what happens because I want everybody to watch this shit.
Yeah.
But he molests the daughter.
Oh, dude.
This motherfucker goes to jail for it, has the parents sign papers saying that everything was okay, and then tells the parents, as a part of my therapy, I have to sleep next to your daughter. And guess what the parents fucking did? Let this motherfucker do it.
Dude.
So, Abducted in Plain Sight, I don't want to go any further, but you guys got to watch that shit. It's an interesting, crazy fucking show. And it's like, how did... These parents are so naive, dude. It's crazy.
Well, that stuff, to me, like, the only way I can console myself when I hear stuff like this, because that stuff, like, disturbs me.
Yeah.
You know, especially when kids are involved and stuff.
Exactly.
The only way I can console myself is thinking, like, okay, there's the capacity. I love that phrase. The capacity for all these horrible people. But if, like, the law of balance is true, there's also going to be people who are, like, the other end, who are extremely positive and like are doing all these world-renowned changes and like helping all these people.
That's a good way to look at it.
You know, that's the only way I can calm myself down, because when I hear stuff like that, it's like, we need to get our pitchforks, we need to get our torches, and we need to find this fool, put him on, burn him at the stake. You know what I mean? Let's get rid of the filth.
A lot of people don't care about it unless it affects him directly, though. That's unfortunate, right? Because like the R. Kelly shit, he took advantage of a minor like, what, 20 years ago? Almost 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's like, nobody really gave a fuck until the documentary came out. Then it was like, oh, fuck.
Well, that was a whole disgusting, weird thing, too. I guess because I didn't get a chance to watch it myself. But from what I've heard, like, he had a whole initiation process with these girls where he would lock them inside a bedroom for like a week, and they would have to ask permission to use the bathroom and all this weird stuff. Crazy,
dude. Could you imagine being like super successful and then having to take advantage of girls and shit? It's like, dude.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, like these motherfuckers are crazy. But then there's like a big movie guy that fucking adopted someone from China and ended up marrying his daughter. He's super famous too, dude. I can't think of his name.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. It was just like a really weird situation where it's like, oh, this dude, I didn't expect that from him.
Yeah, it's like, so I feel like everyone's kind of got their thing, but man, like when it becomes children and shit like that is just super fucked up.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
Well, I hold this is a really. I kind of want to start to stray away from this topic because it was weird, but
a little bit.
I heard of a dude who was having impure thoughts. My girlfriend was telling me this. A guy who was having impure thoughts about molesting children. So he was having these thoughts, and he was aware of them. He's like, dude, I've been having these weird cravings. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it. And he was freaking out. So he went to a psychiatrist and told him, was like, dude, I've been having these weird feelings about weird kids and stuff, and I don't know what to do. Psychiatrist didn't know what to do, because, I mean, that's a really rare thing that someone would come out to the light with that. And I guess he ended up castrating himself.
Like hanging himself?
No, so like cutting off his wiener.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so like I guess they're called eunuchs when they don't have anything. So he was so worried that he was having impure thoughts about touching children that he chopped off his own wiener.
Round of applause for me.
I know, right? For real.
Damn, that's crazy though, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, that's some willpower right there. It's like, I know this isn't right. I have this weird desire that I know isn't right, and I'm gonna like take extreme action.
And he's gonna fix it.
And he's gonna fix it.
Well, shit, he fixed it.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, fix himself. Shit. Yeah, man.
Oh man.
Let's talk about something happy, man. Let's
talk about some fucking mountain lions, bro.
Oh, that's not happy, but okay, man.
I want to talk about it because I don't believe this shit actually happened.
Yeah, huh?
So supposedly this guy is on a trail running here in California somewhere. No, it wasn't in California actually. I just read that it was somewhere else.
Fort Collins, wherever that is.
Wherever Fort Collins
like
is.
Nevada.
This motherfucker's running and gets attacked by a mountain lion from behind and is able to fight it off and strangle it to death.
Bruce Lee.
And we somewhat touched on this already, but it's like, how believable do you think this story is?
Well, to me, it's like, from hiking experience and hearing stories about mountain lions, bears, etc.
Okay.
Mountain lions are killing machines, and they're designed to go for the back of the neck because it's your weak spot.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really, like, your arms don't bend that way, you know what I mean? So it's like, you can't get back there. They paralyze you, take you down. So to me, it just doesn't make sense to imagine someone flipping around that quick and choking out cold style, like mountain lion, like, petting it while I'm sorry.
Because there got to be some state of shock, right?
For sure.
Whenever you're like in any type of combative situation.
Car crash, fights, like, anything.
You're like, oh, all right, I'm a little shocked right now. Gather your thoughts.
You know what it could have been? Adrenaline.
Mm-hmm.
Adrenaline. Because that could totally explain it. Because if you're like, you hear like, wow, and then all of a sudden like there's a huge thing on your back, like I imagine you would be like, ah!
It gives me the
like,
chills right now.
Super Saiyan and just like rip it up. He probably like dropped on his back and then it scurried away. And then dude, I can't imagine that.
The only way I'm thinking this was possible is that the cat was either sick, the mountain lion, right? Is either sick or injured already.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking that's the only way a motherfucker's going to fight off a mountain lion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's funny, too, because I was looking at it as well, and the news channels were like, the scientists are studying the cat to see why it would have assaulted or attacked this guy. I'm sitting there like, they kill things to eat and survive. Like, it's not a troubled child.
Right.
Like, why are you over here like, oh, we want to see what's wrong with the cat? It's like, what about the dude? Let's look at his DNA. He must be Superman or something. If he can freaking take down, I want to study this guy. I don't give a shit about the cat. Like, that's nuts.
And he was probably running in the opposite direction, right? So they're probably thinking he's running away from the cat.
Uh-huh.
It's prey. It's running. I'm going to eat you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I wonder if, like, I wish there was a picture of this guy.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Where's the pictures of the injuries? I want to see the footage. Where's the GoPro footage?
Exactly. Because I'm imagining this dude, like, for some reason, my mind keeps leaning to this, like, older middle-aged man who's, like, kind of skinny, but in, like, really good running shape. And, like, somehow he just, like, pulls this off. He's probably like an MMA fighter.
But then another story about mountain lions is last year, not to stay on the same fucking subject, but a motherfucker gets attacked by a mountain lion while he's riding his bike with his friend. The friend gets off the bike and is like, fuck, like my friend's getting attacked, like I'm gonna go help him.
Yeah.
Runs over, goes to help him, and the mountain lion attacks the guy that was trying to help.
Mm-hmm.
The first guy getting attacked gets on his bike and rides off.
Dips,
dude. Leaves his friend there.
Man. That's
fucked up, right?
Well, I wish the guy from the first story was there. It would save both of them. Coming out, he jumps out. He was watching the mountain lion the whole time, attacks the back of his neck, chokes out again. Man, dude, that's nuts.
So he comes back, right, and his friend's dead.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Killed by the mountain lion.
Yeah.
It's fucked up, man.
That's super messed up. I can't believe someone would just, like, ditch their friend like that.
So if you go hiking, man, make sure you go with someone that's not going to run away from a mountain lion.
Have them fill out a little questionnaire, like, if I was attacked by a mountain lion and I saved you, would you have my
What
back?
would you do?
No. Okay, we can't hike. Dude,
oh, man.
But we got the Grammys tonight. I'm pretty excited for that. My boy Nipsey nominated for Rap Album of the Year.
That's pretty dope, man.
Yeah, I usually don't really like to watch award shows because they're usually really long.
Only award shows I watch is BET Awards and MTV Awards. That's it. It's the only award shows you gonna catch me watching.
You gonna watch it tonight though? The Grammys maybe?
Probably not.
I don't even know what time it starts.
I'm sure I'll be updated on Instagram about what's going on.
That's the one good thing about social media is you don't have to watch anything anymore. They just tell you.
But the cool thing is though to see Nipsey finally get his his props.
Yeah.
Right, for being in the game for so long. I feel like these last couple years, he's been finally getting the respect he deserves. Because he's been grinding for a minute.
He has.
You know what I mean?
We went to, what was it, not last year, 2 years ago? We went to VIP. We went to his birthday party.
That shit was tight, right?
That was dope.
That shit was tight.
That was sick. That was hella fun.
Mm-hmm.
That was something to remember. But yeah, he's something else, dude. He inspires me so much in terms of how he gives back to the community and he's independent. He does it himself. Built up all these shops. He has a whole block in Crenshaw district of LA. I went there and visited it.
Uh-huh.
It was unbelievable. One of the cleanest stores I've ever been in.
Man. Cleanest
stores ever. He's next level, man. If there's anyone, if you're like a music person or you're like trying to be a producer or artist, whatever, you should listen to him and follow his path because he's doing it right. Don't follow Blueface because you go be offbeat. Heard he's Blueface, the new Migo, called Offbeat.
Offbeat, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Offset, offbeat.
Sound like a whole bunch of seagulls fighting over a French fry.
Did you see that YG situation recently?
Oh, we're in the airport?
In the airport, dude.
That pissed me off.
He can learn from Nipsey.
Yeah, for real, dude. I can elaborate on it a little bit because I was actually watching it last night.
Yeah, feel free.
I was telling my friend. I guess YG was getting off a plane,
mm-hmm.
and I guess Tyga was on the same plane. So YG was walking in front, and there was some guy who was there to film footage of Tyga, and he was waiting to take pictures of Tyga, and he saw YG. He was like, "Oh, screw it, I'm gonna get some footage of YG too." So he's like kind of in the corner by one of the little stores or whatever in the airport, right? Starts filming him. YG sees it and comes up to him and confronts him, takes out his phone, puts it on selfie mode, Instagram story or whatever, and starts videotaping like this. He's like, "Hey, look at this, and starts cussing him out pretty much. Like, look at this motherfucker, like, doing some gay shit, filming me, blah, 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 you little mark. If we wasn't at the airport, I'd knock your ass out. And putting this, and this dude looked like he was like 17, like a little kid who can barely speak English.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what airport it was.
He looked scared.
He looked scared out of his mind. I would be scared if I'm over like, oh, look, like, mommy, YG. And I'm taking pictures and all YG comes up. He's like, what's up, little bitch? And like starts like, I'm like, oh, crap. It's like, if we wasn't at the airport, I'd knock your ass out. Like, oh, my. I lost a lot of respect for YG.
Me too, man. And one of my favorite artists is on tour with YG right now. Shout out Mozzie.
Oh, yeah, Mozzie's dope.
But it was like, damn, dude. Like, to see him kind of just forget that he's a celebrity.
Uh-huh.
Forget that people look up to you and people admire you and you kind of giving up your regular human rights.
Yeah.
When someone sees a famous person, they're going to pull out their phone. They're going to record you. You know what I mean? Like, why are cultures like that? I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's the way it is. And it's like, dude, don't call out your fans, bro. Like, these people pay money to see you.
Well,
they buy your albums.
That's how you lose fans, too. Because not only I'm sure that kid will never listen to YG again, because he'll have like post-traumatic stress. Oh, no. But he lost me as a fan. And I'm sure he lost a lot of other people as fans too. It's like Ludacris is one of my favorite artists of all time. He was always a huge inspiration for me. I loved all his music until I saw an interview with him and Nardwuar. You know Nardwuar, the funky dude on YouTube who's yeah, old school Nardwuar. He like best interviews out there.
Yeah.
And he did an interview with Ludacris.
Uh-huh.
And Ludacris was talking down on him.
On Nardwuar?
On Nardwuar. Of all people. The little Canadian, super humble, friendly dude.
Yeah.
He was talking down on him. He was like, man, like, he was like, oh, so like, blah, 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 talking about who he hangs out with or something. He was like, man, I'm too expensive to hang out with you, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm too rich for you. Like, hella talking down on Narwhal, like, super disrespectful. And that took a big chunk out of how I viewed Ludacris, which sucks because he was always a huge figure of, like, inspiration for me.
Yeah.
And then it's interesting. I heard a quote one time that said something about your idols, once you meet them, will reveal that they have clay feet, which is a weird way of saying, like, once you meet someone that you look up to, you're going to realize they're human too. And it's gonna, like, so never really meet your idols. Gotcha. Kind of along the lines of, like, TV killed the radio star. Because, like, even last night, I was, like, looking up these funny music videos that this person was making. Never saw the person. I was like, oh, this is kind of funny. And then I saw what the person looked like. Yeah. And for some reason, in my human brain, I was like, oh, I don't like how they look. And then I stopped listening to the music. Which was interesting because I saw it happen within myself. Yeah. I was like, why? Why is that a big factor?
Why does the image matter?
Why does the image matter that much? Yeah. But I thought that was, like, super interesting. I was like, this...
Stay on this YG thing, right? I remember I was filming for Too Short and Upgrade, DJ Upgrade. So they're doing this show in Modesto. I think it's Modesto or Tracy. One of the two. And, you know, I'm around Too Short. I'm like, fuck. Like, you know what I mean? This is dope. This is a dream come true. Yeah. So I got my camera and I'm, like, sitting around, and Too Short's probably where you are. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, they're just talking casually. I pull out my camera and I'm just kind of like, oh, this will be good, like, B-roll, like, good footage.
Behind the scenes.
And Too Short looks at me.
No.
He looks at his partner. He's like, points, right? So I'm like, fuck, hey, what's about to happen? So his partner comes over and he's like, hey, man, no recording. Super respectful. Yeah. Didn't cuss me out. Didn't say, get the fuck up out of here. Just like, when we chilling, we chilling. And it kind of made me realize, like, when I'm in certain situations, not everything needs to be recorded. Yeah. You know what I mean? Sometimes people just chilling. People just sitting there. Yeah. But it's like, until you learn or you're in that situation, it's like, you don't really know. Because you're like fucking shocked, right? You're like, damn, this is somebody I always looked up to. This person's dope. Like, I'm trying to do my job. I'm trying to get some dope footage. Yeah. And I don't know, man. It's time and a place for everything.
Well, it's interesting, too, because that's how I am. Like, when I've done a lot of stuff with Cookie Money and stuff like that, like, I always have the camera on. And there's been times where I've been like, I don't know if I should be recording this, because he'll be telling some stories
you're like,
that most people aren't supposed to hear. And most of the time, I turn off the camera because it's, like, so much game that I'm like, all right, I don't want the camera to interfere with what's going on right now. Yeah. Because it'll make the situation different. And it kind of, cameras are interesting in that way. I feel like I miss a lot of really cool moments that I'm in when I'm filming them, because I'm so focused on filming them.
You want the shot to be so good.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I was on stage and there was, like, thousands of people in the crowd, and, like, I'm with these, like, famous artists and I'm on stage. Yeah. Like, people can see me. Yeah. But I'm filming. So I wasn't able to fully, like, be immersed in the moment, because that camera was between me and the world. Yeah. You know what I mean? So the cameras and, like, videography in that way are really interesting. Because you're right. You have an urge you want to record everything. But then, like, that happens and they're like, hey, turn that off.
You know what's funny? When you get kicked off the stage as a cameraman and you go, like, in the little bullpit area, people think you know those people. Like, I've been on stage with, like, 2 Chainz before, right? Yeah. And then they let you be there for, like, 2 to 3 minutes, whatnot. Then they make everyone go to the bullpit, like, at the bottom. Yeah. So I'm at the bottom. And then these girls come up to me like, oh, my gosh, like, you know 2 Chainz, you know 2 Chainz. And I'm like, yeah, I know 2 Chainz. Like, that's what I do. Yeah. And, like, kissing me on the cheek.
Oh, no way.
I was there with Brandon. Brandon took a picture of this girl kissing me on the cheek. And I'm like, damn, like, I'm a random-ass camera dude on stage. And motherfuckers think I know 2 Chainz or whatnot just because I'm on stage. Like, it's crazy the effect of, like, being on stage with someone or having a camera can,
or just being in a vicinity with someone that isn't on the level of normal individuals. You know, it's weird because, like, people, I hate to say this, but people really didn't care what was going on with what I was creating and what I was doing in my own personal life until they started to see, like, oh, whoa, he's with Cookie Money, he's with Filthy Rich, he's with Ski, blah, blah, blah. Because then they're like, oh, maybe I should start watching a little bit more. Yeah. Of course, you have the fans, not the fans, but the family, if anything, the friends who, like yourself, you know, who've been there since the beginning. And, like, you see the progress and, like, we motivate each other and we help each other out, etc. Do podcasts. But then there's the people who are always kind of looking for what's next. You know, I want to call them opportunists. They wait on the side for something like, oh, I might be able to get something out of this situation.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of those, like you were talking about those girls at the show, like that's a perfect example.
Right.
They have no idea who you are, but they see you almost as a gateway into 2 Chainz circle. Like, oh, cool. Oh, you know 2 Chainz? Oh, my God. Wow. Because that's exactly how it is.
Someone you can't get close to since this whole YG thing we're talking about it is Busta Rhymes, dude. His security is like, if you get anywhere close to this fool, they will fuck you up.
Oh, no.
Like, and they're known for it.
Really?
Like, Busta Rhymes, you're not talking to Busta Rhymes. You're not taking a picture with Busta Rhymes.
Damn.
You're not getting close to Busta Rhymes unless he wants you to be.
Yeah.
That fool's security is known for fucking shit up. Like, they don't play.
Huh. Well, I mean, it's...
Maybe that's who YG needs to hire.
Yeah.
Or Tekashi security.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about that. They're going to throw him under the bus real quick.
Man.
Freaking Tekashi, man. I can't.
Yeah, that fool's, he's in trouble right now. Big trouble.
Oh, yeah. Well, he just snitched on...
Supposedly snitched on his whole crew, man.
Damn.
Crazy. And it's crazy because how do you let a not street dude get into your circle like that?
Yeah.
You know he's not real. Why are you talking to him about shit that could get you in trouble?
Yeah.
To get you to go to jail for a long, long fucking time.
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense, man.
Well, I have a feeling someone like Tekashi like viewed all the people around him as like, oh, I won't take the fall. You know, because I hate to say this, but I've been in situations where I was doing things I shouldn't be. I'll leave it at that. With people that were also doing things they shouldn't have been. And we got stopped. And they got taken. And they let me be.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm white. I can act nerdy. You know what I mean? Because I am a little bit of a nerd.
You can turn on that voice.
Like, oh, excuse me. You know?
Yeah.
But they let me go. And I'm like standing there like, I'm just as guilty as these people.
Yeah.
So I feel like Tekashi was in a similar situation. It's like, oh, well, like in reality, even though I'm tatted up and I have rainbow hair and all this crazy
But he's
shit,
Mexican, so shit. He don't fall in that same category.
Yeah, well, and he has hella felonies on him. Like he had that whole child pornography thing or whatever, which is crazy. Should have castrated himself.
Right. But no, I guess in that situation, it was like his friend hooking up with a girl who said she was older than she really was.
Yeah.
He kind of recorded his friend getting head or some shit. So it's like...
Well, that's a weird situation in itself. Because that's always terrified me when I was single, is being in the dating field or dating arena, whatever you want to call it. And girls saying that they're older than they are. Because nowadays, dude, girls... I saw a girl the other day. Like, I was talking to one of my friends who's a girl, and she was telling me about her friend. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And she was like a model or something like that. I thought she was like 22. And then mid-conversation, like she just happens to be like, oh yeah, she just turned 15.
Whoa.
Like, what? I'm like, oh my God. And like, granted, I wasn't like trying to pick this girl up or anything.
But still, it's like...
But I was like, oh, she's a model. So I was like looking at her model pictures, like, oh, she's pretty attractive, whatever. Yeah. She's 15. And I was like, whoa.
Damn.
That's nuts to me. Like, that's scary.
Well, think about fucking Kylie Jenner, dude.
How old is she?
She's 21, 22 now. So she's older. But I'm saying before then, dude, she was like the hottest thing. And she was underage and people fucking wanted her.
Yeah.
And people, Tyga dated her when she was underage. Like,
that's, dude, the world is weird, man. I remember back in middle school, you probably remember this too, elementary school. Granted, that's like really young. What is that, like 12? But kids used to look like kids. I used to have my little Spitfire shirts on and my shorts that didn't match and my oversized shoes, run around on the playground, long hair, pimples.
Yeah.
Now you look at these kids, they're in designer. They're all dressed head to toe, makeup, fucking
crazy, dude.
Yeah, getting all these crazy haircuts and like tattoos already. Like, it's nuts to me.
It's like a lot of these parents dress their kids how they want their significant other to dress or how they want or how the husband dress.
Yeah.
It's like, your kid does not need no fucking Gucci shoes.
Yeah, for real.
Your kid does not need no Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
They're going to go to the park. They're going to go to school. They're going to fuck that shit up. You just spent hundreds of dollars on some shit that you shouldn't even bought them.
Well, not to mention they're going to grow out of it super quick.
Makes no sense, man.
I used to hear stories. This never happened to me, but I always used to joke around with it. It's like you buy the undersized shoes, and then if you grew out of them, you just wear them in the bathtub and stretch them out.
Huh.
which is good.
That's a good theory.
Good tip.
I didn't know that works.
Yeah, try it out. It works, man. It works. But I mean, that's the funny thing to me is maybe it's a good sign of what kids are doing nowadays, because I feel like I don't see kids play outside anymore, man. I feel like I rarely see. I mean, granted, it's like a different world and like it might not be as safe.
You know what the new cool thing for kids to do is?
Huh.
Watch other kids play games.
I do that, man. I watch that every once in a while.
Bruh, I thought it was cool too, right? Watching GTA, like watching motherfuckers go on kill streaks and shit. But it's like, dude, kids will literally get their iPad and they'll watch another kid play video games.
Yeah, weird.
On their iPad. It's crazy as fuck. Dude, it's like, when I was a kid, I want to play with the toys.
Yeah.
I want to be outside. I want to be in it.
Yeah.
I want to be the motherfucker playing with the toys and y'all can watch me play with the toys.
Exactly. Well, from a certain standpoint, there's two takes on this. And the way that I do it is sometimes I watch, if it's like a cool new game, I'll watch someone else do like a playthrough of it, so I won't spend money on it. Because if you think about it, you spend $60 on a game, you play it for like a week, you're over it.
Yeah.
Or you can go on YouTube and watch someone else play it for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, get your fill, and never waste the money. Second take.
I've never thought of it that way.
See, that's how we get that. That's how you make it up here, baby.
Stay up, keep your money.
We staying up. But the second standpoint from why I think kids are doing it is it's like watching your friend play video games. It's like you go to their house, they just got a new game, and you're sitting there with them. Granted, there's no interaction.
Yeah.
But I think people, like there's that dude PewDiePie. I think people watch so many of his videos that it almost becomes like a pen pal type situation. Where it's like, oh, like I've seen so many of his videos, I know who he is. And then it's like they're watching their friend play games.
That makes sense.
Which, I mean, it's weird to see that because it's the next step of this social media generation. Because before it's like, oh, I don't have to hit up my friends anymore because I see what they're doing on Instagram. Oh, I don't have to text my friends anymore because I see what they're doing. Now it's like, oh, I don't need friends because I have this friend who plays YouTube and does, you know what I mean?
Peep this, dude. There's a kid that was on Forbes, right? He's 7 years old.
Oh, God.
Guess how much money he made last year?
How much?
$22 million.
Off what?
Off playing with toys.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's fucking crazy, bruh.
Yeah.
And motherfuckers watch him play with toys.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker made $22 million as a 7-year-old.
Well, so I guess the whole thing with that kid, right? He gets new toys, unboxes the toys, and then does toy reviews.
But I'm sure he's still playing with it, right? That's how.
Yeah. Well, and then that's the thing too.
That's crazy.
All these brands now too. It's the new type of marketing, which everyone should tap into. Is influencer marketing, where it's like if you're a new toy company, you send this kid your toy to play with and review on his YouTube channel. You get like 4 million views of your toy instantly. Makes sense. Then all these other kids are like, I want that toy. Little Tommy was playing with it, and it looked like so much fun. But the weird thing about that is it's almost like extortion with these parents, because the kid's not getting the money. Yeah. Are you going to give your kid $22 million? These parents are probably balling out. Like they probably bought him a babysitter and they're taking trips. Like, hey, play with your toys.
Right.
You know,
they got a whole film crew. Film this shit. Yeah. Make sure he plays with this on this day.
He just lives in the studio.
Damn.
In a little thing, and they're out sipping mimosas on a beach somewhere.
I didn't even think about that, bro. It's probably
because he's not filming it. The 7-year-old doesn't know how to work a camera, let alone upload it to YouTube and put the hashtags and promote it properly.
Right.
His parents are behind the scenes pulling a lot of strings.
Damn.
And it's kind of like those kids in pageants and like kids who are models.
Yeah.
Like 5-year-old kid models and stuff like that who do like the baby commercials or whatever. Those parents are like pulling strings, and those kids usually turn out pretty weird.
Think about all the Disney kids. Oh, you just said that. But the Disney kids, right? They're all fucked up.
They are, all of them. Well, what was that kid's name? We were talking about it the other day.
Orlando Brown,
Orlando Brown. He went off the deep end. Man. You need to check out. He had an interview with Dr. Phil. He was wearing these weird snake contacts. And he put them in wrong. So like, granted, you know the pupils, like I'm looking at you, right?
Yeah.
Well, he put him in wrong, so one pupil was looking this way and one pupil was like looking the other way. So the whole time I was like, dude, he went on some crazy drugs. I was freaking out about his eyes the whole time.
Well, he was smashing That's So Raven, so hey.
So it's justified. He's good.
It's justified. Another topic I was going to bring up before we get out of here is how do you feel about parents being friends with their kids?
I kind of take it the same as managers being friends with the employees.
It kind of blurs the lines, right?
Blurs the lines.
When can you be the disciplinarian?
Yeah. Well, and this is a really good quote to kind of sum that up in a hole is dogs bark and everyone finds it annoying and no one listens. But when a lion roars, people listen. So I feel like it's a certain situation where it's like you can be a friend with your kids, but when it comes to something serious, you have to put your fucking foot down.
Makes sense.
You know what I mean? And that's how I really try to handle a lot of my business and my interactions with people. Is like I'm super laid back, I'm super humble. Yeah. But if it comes to a certain point where something needs to be done or something isn't being done correctly, you have to like be like, listen. Yeah. I don't ask for much.
Put that foot down.
But you need to get this shit done. Yeah. And then it's kind of like, oh, okay. Because if you're always like kind of like, oh, well, you don't have to do this, but if you want to, or this, super lenient all the time. Yeah. When you try to put your foot down, they could be like, oh, nah, you're going to bend and fold. And the kids are going to run all over you.
Makes sense.
How do you feel about if you have kids, if you want to have kids in the future, are you going to be the friendly dad?
So I was talking to some coworkers about this, right? And I was saying, you want your parent to be cool enough with you, so like if something comes up where you're about to have sex for the first time, like you want to be able to talk to your parent about that, not in depth, but kind of like, you know, be comfortable with talking to your parent about it. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like you got to know when there's some things you can talk to your parents about and there's some things you can't, right? You want to be comfortable, you want to be able to come with them with your problems and stuff like that, but at the same time, you got to be able to be like, I'm not your friend. Yeah. Like, I'll beat your ass.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think as we get further in life, right, spankings and all that type of shit isn't the norm anymore. Yeah. So like growing up, I would get hit with the belt. You know what I mean? I would get disciplined. And that's how I knew, like, okay, I can't do this and I can't do this. Exactly. If you don't discipline your kids, you're their roommate that pays for everything. Yeah. Damn, you know what I mean? That's how I look at it. Yeah. So I remember my parents always telling me, like, I am not your friend. Yeah. Like, don't talk to me like that. Or, you can't do this. Like, what do you, like, you know what I mean? I just remember my parents always checking me. Yeah. And I think that's definitely helped me in the long run. And it's kind of made me realize, like, you know, certain things that you can talk to your parents about, certain things you can't, they're not your friend. They're your parent. And it's good to have a good relationship, but at the same time, you got to know what's up.
Well, I think it's interesting, too, because I completely agree with you. But from a weird standpoint, what I've noticed with a lot of people who I don't want to necessarily have a relationship with, but friendships, girlfriends, whatever, people I've interacted with, I've noticed that the people who have more strict parents always end up being so much more crazy and wild and getting into worse situations because they're so strict at home that when they get the chance to like go to college or go out and be free, they just hit the town running, you know, because all their lives, their parents are like, you can't do this. You have to be home by this time. Yeah. You have to go to bed at this time. Only 1 hour of TV. Do this homework first.
They taste that freedom.
They taste freedom, and they're like, oh my god, and they run around like
I could drink. Exactly. I could stay out till midnight.
And those are the kids who like get all caught up in all these bad situations, especially when like, because imagine what you hit college in your 20s, 19, 18. Yeah, so the whole like nearing adulthood. Yeah. And if you've been locked down for 18 years and then you hit college of all places, where you're on your own and your parents, if you go out of town for college or far away, you're around all these other people and like all these people your age
who are just drinking,
who are just like you, and y'all get into some crazy situations. Right. Granted, I don't hear about it too much anymore, but fraternities used to be, and sororities used to have like crazy, weird hazings and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, granted, I didn't go to college, and like I went to community, and
it's not the same, right?
It's not the same.
It's not the animal a university is.
Exactly. And even then, like I was still kind of like, okay, I'm gonna pick and choose because I had my head on a little bit more straight. Yeah. Because
you were focused.
I was focused. Yeah. I knew what I wanted. But college and just like those type of situations in general are extremely interesting.
We got to get somebody on here that got some crazy college stories.
Seriously.
That'd be interesting.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure we know a good amount.
Do we?
Yeah, seriously.
And rich kids that went to college and had mommy and daddy money.
Exactly. I wish I had mommy and daddy money, man. I've been working since, like 12? It was nuts, man. But, yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot more we could talk about, but I think we should wrap it up there before we hit the 3-hour mark. Yeah.
I think we got some good shit off our chest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, this is exciting, man. I think we should definitely keep this up. I enjoy the podcast. So we'll call this episode 1. For all I know.
For all I know, baby.
Hit us up on Instagram at Travis Fisher Official.
At Raleigh Raw.
There it is.